light here, especially with this right here. So for people out there who, I mean, I'm pretty sure most people already know, but um, just briefly gonna touch upon this Ime Doku situation. And then we'll bring some people up and kind of converse. I want to say a couple things. I know that people are, and I guess just me having the platform. I know people, a lot of you all, trying to have fun. I know a lot of y'all trying to get the memes off and the jokes off, and y'all are trying to interact. I get that, but please don't use this opportunity to try to put people involved into what I am starting to figure out to be a very serious situation. That kind of ran very rampant very quickly in the first few hours, and everything was kind of breaking down. I know people like interactions and shit like that, but yeah, getting involved, getting other people involved into something that, again, from what I've read and from what I've understood behind the scenes, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty it's much more serious than I think people probably are making it out to be. Because originally, I think a lot of people thought it was just, oh, he just cheated, or oh, it was, well, and to everyone's credit, it was reported as consensual. I do want to say this though, and let's just break it down like this. So 2 days ago, or maybe a day ago, no, 2 days ago. 2 days ago, news was breaking about Ime Doku and a relationship that he was
Udoka,
having.
fuck. Say his
Udoka.
name
I'm
right.
sorry. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, Ash.
That's it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, never mind.
Okay. I don't. That nigga's name might not even really matter right now.
Hey, but make me co-host, nigga. Thank you.
Ime Doka. Some potential work relationship that was inappropriate started to surface. Now, for those who don't know, later on it was revealed that this information was given to the Boston Celtics for months now. So this was not new information to them. However, everything has been reacting to the information in which they had gained a few months prior. Now, originally, the way that it was being written and told to everybody else is that, that it was a consensual relationship. However, the reason why I haven't really said much of anything is because as time revealed itself behind the scenes, more and more information was revealed, and it wasn't as simple as people having relationships. However, I do want to establish one thing that many people are getting wrong. When you're in a work setting, especially at this level of a corporate work setting, you are obligated to to expound on your relationship that you decide to get into with somebody at your workplace, especially when there could be a power dynamic that is deemed unbalanced. And if they deem it unbalanced, they would either prevent the relationship from happening or move one of the entities or one of the individuals from potential direct authority from the other one, so there could not be any bias or favoritism or any type of other any type of dynamic between the two directly at the workplace. So that's why all that information is supposed to be given up front. So let's establish that. I saw a lot of people not understanding, and fair enough, many of you all are young, but not understanding how the dynamics between relationships tend to work at work. You cannot. I know people say, "Oh, he's had a relationship with somebody." Yeah, it's not that simple. It's not that simple. But as like I keep saying, as time continues to progress, the more information even I'm gathering, it was much more serious than that, which is why you see a lot more people redact and take away a lot of things they've said as well. And why there is now a 1-year suspension. From what I've gathered, that nigga needs to lose his job. He needs to lose his job. But that's just my sentiment on it. The other portion on it is the way that things have been reported. From what I understand, I don't want to give Woj an out here. I don't want to give him an out, but there may have been a reason why he reported it the way he reported it. However, knowing how Woj fucking operates, I do think it's pretty crazy and nasty that he potentially was going to milk this story. Yo,
wait, shut up for a sec. It didn't they the Celtics, didn't they know about the relationship right since July?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They knew what they
but
knew.
But that's what I'm saying. So like, I don't. What was the first part about then? Why were you saying all that? That if they already knew about the relationship.
Let me say about the Woj thing. Because the Woj thing is a bit interesting because I don't necessarily know how. I don't know why Woj. I don't know if Woj was trying to milk it or if somebody was just trying to leak it. And let me say this, Ash. I'll say this to the people in here too. From my understanding, they knew about it in July, and they were supposed to make a decision. If this had broken in the middle of the year, for example, right? The decision that they were on what happened would have been expedited because they were in the middle of the season. They were not going to allow Ime Udoka to just keep fucking walking around or whatever his name is, Udoka. They were not going to keep allowing this nigga to just walk throughout the Boston Celtics facility while they figured it out. It just became convenient for them that the information was given to them during the off season to where they would not have to have an immediate response. However, from what I've gathered, is that the response was so non-immediate that we were damn near going up on training camp and they still had not came to a conclusion, which is why potentially this is why it leaked. Because there were powers within the Boston Celtics who felt like, hey, since y'all niggas is moving y'all feet, I'll make sure this shit happens a little quicker. I'll make sure we get something happen here. Because since y'all niggas have known this since July, I'll make sure something happens quicker than what y'all are letting it happen. Because y'all niggas is dragging your feet. So I'll just start leaking shit. Which is why, to Woj's part, I don't necessarily know if the way he moves though is just because we already know how Woj drops shit. He drops shit and he leaves it open ending so he can come to ESPN the next morning and fucking milk it for like 2 or 3 days. Which, unfortunately, it still kind of seems like that's what's happening right now. But the information that Shams and The Athletic broke about it potentially not being non-consensual and there being more back and forth, from my understanding, is something that Woj potentially knew from the beginning. But Woj might have just been trying to, dot his I's and cross his T's before he went in that direction. Who knows, right? But from my understanding, that's what happened. That, yeah, you're right. They knew this since July. Luckily enough, it was convenient for them to deal with it and not be immediate and try to get as much information as possible before they made their decisions, especially with something that it could be potentially as non-consensual, something to that extent. But we're almost at media day and training camp and preseason. And what are we doing? That nigga's about to go back into this facility and y'all niggas have not came to a conclusion yet. Okay.
But that's why I think, like, what Matt Barnes and all of them have been saying, I think that what happened, we're not even getting like the full story like you alluding to, because I think it's just it's pretty eye-opening. Like, this isn't something like that's common. Like, you're not letting a head coach of Ime Udoka's caliber walk away, even if it's just a suspension, right? A week before training camp, right? Like, I don't think that this is just the only thing that is happening. It clearly isn't, right? With all these leaks from Richard Jefferson and Matt Barnes and just other people coming out, like, I think a lot more had to have happened. So, God forbid he did this to other women, hopefully it was consensual, but what I'm saying, I think more shit definitely happen. We're gonna see it in the coming days.
And
But before go ahead, go Najee real quick.
yo, is there let me be smart with my words. Is there a lens where I feel like Boston is letting this nigga off the hook? Like, part of me feel like not all of it's coming out because they want to create an avenue for him to come back. If he's doing some fuck shit, blast that shit so he's not able to get a job again. Don't try to punish him and not say all what he did if he's going around like harassing or assaulting women or
But not
anything.
just because he's Ime Udoka. We know why he's not getting blasted.
That's the point I was going to get to next.
No,
So
I was just told I was a bad person for saying that and not respecting the privacy of the victim. I'm like, no, I see some bullshit that's going on. If he did some fuck shit like that, blast it so he can't come back. You're not gonna have your cake and eat it too. But I'm just saying, I like to say that here because
I understand what you're saying.
That person.
He's Ime Udoka,
Yeah.
so he's not getting fired. The Celtics, the only reason he hasn't been fired by now is because he's Ime Udoka and because he just led them to a finals, and because they want to go back to more finals.
And that's fucked up. Let
me say this. Let me say this. So that's the media side of things and how I've understood how we got to this point of the story being half-assed and why I didn't say anything and why I advise many people to not say anything as well and just let things kind of rock as they go. So that's the media side of things. The other side of things is this. When we talk about these organizations and we talk about, especially in the NBA, these niggas are so far removed from how shit should normally occur. They're so far removed from morality. They're so far removed, or they believe that they should be so far removed due to the title, the position, and the money that they make, that how things should normally be upheld, in their mind, this is actually doing a good job. Because we just saw the Robert Sarver situation, and it's so odd to me, and we didn't get to speak about it because how ridiculous everything is going on right now. But it's odd to me how so many people came out and said, after the laundry list of things of Robert Sarver started to be revealed, and people were saying, "Oh yeah, that sounds about right. That sound like him right there. Yeah, that do sound like him." Because the reality is that people know things happen in the league and they just don't say anything. They just don't. Same thing with the Dallas Mavericks situation a few years ago, where it had been going on
it's still going on, by the way.
And which is crazy. So it goes on for so long that it becomes the norm. So now the Boston Celtics are actually trying to do something, but the problem is that the culture that has been breeding in a lot of these front offices and with these executives all the way down to the coaches with a lot of these teams is that, hey, what is the best way to deal with this so everybody comes out on top, even though there is a very real chance that Ime should not be coming out on top at all. They shouldn't even be trying to figure out a way to save him at all. Even in the most minimalistic thing that he could have done, if you broke a rule, you broke a law, you broke whatever, it's done. But that's
how any other high profile job works. When you come out and break either I would have liked to see like the violation he broke, maybe not like the person or whatever, right? Regardless, like in any high profile job, you break a violation, you go against their code, what they do, you're getting fired. You are getting fired. That's how it works. So I don't know, but we do know, but like it's really unacceptable how the Boston Celtics are trying to like prolong the inevitable, or at least what should be the inevitable.
But that's the problem, though. In their mind, they're actually doing a good job. That's how skewed everything is. Because, and this, I'll go back to what, and I think Stephen A. Smith was wrong with this, and I think a lot of other people on Twitter were wrong with this as well. where as black men, we try to do this thing as, well, if it was somebody white, they would have covered it up. I don't even want to play that game. I don't want to be a part of the game where I'm covering up because the white man cover it up. So give me the same respect as a white man and cover up my bullshit. No.
We too old as black men to be trying to hold our standards to the same as white men, bro. Like we're never gonna get treated this way.
I don't think that's what he was. I don't think he was saying.
I don't think that's
what he was saying though. I think what he was saying was when it was just basically when he was just talking about like just sexual part.
Oh, but I get that, but I don't. But the point I'm making is that I don't want to be held to the same standard as somebody who's white. When we realize that standard in which they're being upheld to is a standard that is low morality. I don't want to be held to that standard. I don't want to say, well, they got away with it, so let me get away with it. Or you did this with them, so let me do like, no, if I did something wrong, regardless of who I am, let me go ahead and just deal with the repercussions because I'm a man and I take on those responsibilities when I made the decisions in which I made. So and I say that to say, especially dealing with leagues like these where there's a fucking boys club, I don't want to, when I get in the boys club, I'm there to change it, not to participate in the bullshit. So as a black man, and I'm representing a subsection of other people in America, I'm not going to allow this to continue to permeate, even if I'm the one who made the mistake. I'm just not going to do that. So I don't want to be held to that same standard. But the reality is that is the NBA, to where people do things, it gets hidden. And so now, as the Boston Celtics, in their mind, this is actually them doing something about it. When even them doing something about it potentially could be a very weak response. Because it probably should just be that nigga losing his job. But in their mind, they probably thinking, oh man, how can we make sure we look good and we keep Ime and then we can deal with the other stuff and maybe settlement and then help her find a new job. And no, nigga, just fucking fire this nigga. And these niggas are so. Let me give you another reason to why I feel like this is to be true. These niggas are so lost because the reality is that if Ime is doing what I believe to be that he has been done, but let's just say he's doing something that's non-consensual. If Ime is doing something that's non-consensual, if it happened in the middle of the year, he would have to have, at bare minimum, removed from the team. The reason why is because you would not want to breed a toxic environment that again gets breeded in everywhere else, where people feel uncomfortable just walking around on a day-to-day basis, because these women are just going to be participating in this facility, in this franchise, and not feeling comfortable because there has already been a precedent that has been set in tone that I, as a woman, how I feel is second to the team's success or whatever y'all believe is more important. So because of that, he would have had to have been removed from the situation regardless. Again, it was convenient. But these niggas are so far removed from what is right or wrong that even when they suspended Ime for a year, they brought in a nigga to replace him who got charged with domestic violence in 2009. So it's still set in place that, hey, as a woman, you still going to be in an environment where you don't feel comfortable. You still not. If they got rid of Donald Sterling and dropped in another racist owner, as a black person, we still don't give a fuck. How does that work? But again, that's how far off a lot of this is. So people who don't know, the interim head coach got charged in 2009 with domestic violence. Don't know if y'all.
What? What? He was like beating up his wife or some shit. What does that mean?
You know what domestic? What?
I mean, I know what domestic violence means, but like, what? He was beating up his wife or something.
I know. There was like I saw like an article that
But I
said
don't know the
it
story.
happened like more than once, Low, or some shit. It was something along the lines of that. I'm gonna find it real quick. Give me a sec. But I don't think it was just like a one time thing for the what's his name? What it's like
It's
Mazzala?
like Joe Mazzola or something like that.
Yeah,
Mazzala.
something like that. Yeah. Let me find it real quick.
So I say all that to say that this is an NBA franchise believing that they're doing the right thing. Hey, we looked into it. We investigated it. Hey, we're going to come to that conclusion. We're going to come to it. Trust me. We're going to do something about it. We were. I promise you, we were. We're going to do something. Don't worry about it. Fucking media day is like 2 days away, and you potentially have female workers in that establishment looking at each other like, what the fuck is this? Are they gonna do something with this nigga? They known about it since July. It is damn near October, and they have not said a thing. Hey, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Yeah, we still looking into it. Yeah, we looking into it. You told me that in July. You told me that in August. You told me that in September. It's almost October. You think I'm playing? Okay. All right. You think I'm just talking. Because y'all
Hey,
gonna come to
to
something.
answer whoever question that was, Joe Mazzulla was he was a college basketball player or whatever. This is 13 years ago, right? So he's 34 now. So he was 21 at the time. He was basically drinking at a bar, and then he like grabbed a lady by her neck and like basically assaulted her. So that's what he got arrested for.
But it says he was charged with it, but he wasn't like. I'm looking at it right now. It says he was charged with it, but that doesn't mean he was like convicted or indicted or anything like that. So, I mean, do we really know that he actually did
Conviction isn't like a direct way of saying that someone did or didn't do it, especially when charges can be dropped.
I guess.
You know what I mean?
And he also got charged with like public urination or some shit.
Well, in a press conference today, Brad said that experience kind of shaped him up to who he is today, and he's learned from that. And I guess he's been like sober for the past 12 or 13 years. So like, just from that, it sounds like he learned from that situation. If anything.
To be, I must say, from everything that I've heard, that is not what occurred with him early in his life. Ain't no speculation.
Hey, Low,
it was something.
I never heard of that shit.
Low, real quick, because I know your ass don't read DMs, nigga. I'm about to leave and then just bring me back up, all right? All right, nigga? You supposed to, all right, good.
Nigga, shut your ass up. Yeah, so from my understanding, what happened to him was not like some speculative things. And there's a possibility that he grew from it as well, right? So, like, I'm not going to act like, because it happened a while ago. So I'm not going to act like he could not have grown from it. And yes, he was younger. But it still sets the tone that these niggas are so tone deaf to what's happening that's the man that they replaced him with. And the reality is, the only reason why they're replacing him with that man is because they're now in a rush to come to a conclusion with what they're going to do with Ime when they've known this information since fucking July. You've known about it. They didn't. Yeah, for people out there who don't know, the conclusions in which they've been coming to over the past few days to a week now should not have been so instantaneously. It should have been something they had been cooking up for a fucking month now. Look at this nigga Ash. I'm gonna just leave him down there. So yeah, even though, yes, understandably so, he could have grown from it. It shouldn't be a point where we're rushing to find a replacement. We're rushing to find an interim. We're rushing to get some type of solution, but they've known about it for months at this point.
I mean, they might have been already looking at who they could see to be a replacement for him prior to the news coming out. So, I mean, they made the decision pretty fast after they announced that Ime was being suspended. So they might have been planning this. It might have not just been as like out the blue as it seems.
If you were planning it, you would have just hired a new coach.
I don't know, but I don't know. This whole situation, it's just real. it's real new right now, and I just don't want to, because there's
Yes,
really not
to
that much
you,
that's been said.
to you, it's
Does yeah,
new.
to the masses, like everyone that's speaking
Oh
on
no,
it too, though,
to the masses. But
because
to
they
the
didn't really say
Celtics,
exactly
it's
what
not new
happened.
though.
The
The
Celtics,
Celtics is not
they
new.
messed up, and a lot of
Yeah, it's not new to
used
them.
to be on them as well. Like they messed up big time.
But they
Yeah,
said
it's
Ime
not
said
new.
something. He didn't like physically do anything. He just said something.
He made
I
another.
mean, I'm not trying to justify
Nah,
anything, but
they
it's like
said
we just don't know what was said. Like, so I just don't. I don't know. I feel like we're speaking too soon on it
the new report
to be speaking so strongly.
is up there. It said that that he made comments that the lady felt that whoever the woman was, felt like it was harassment. And
But that could be like so many things, though. We don't know exactly what was said, so I just don't know.
Yeah,
Even
because
Doing a lot of assuming.
even if he was just saying things to her, that's still even if he was saying things to her that would, even if it wasn't touching. Let's say hypothetically speaking, it wasn't touching. Let's say hypothetically speaking, they didn't even have sex. Let's say hypothetically speaking, he was just speaking to
Right, he
her
just
in a
said something.
manner that was sexual and unwarranted, and he was told a few times to stop doing it, and he proceeded to keep doing it. That
told
nigga,
by her.
by her, I'm not. This is just a hypothetical. I'm trying to figure out
Right,
in
it's
the
saying you have
least
to like.
in
You
the
have to go
least
like.
impactful way possible. Even if you want to just say they were just speaking, he was speaking inappropriately, bro. Those are things in which that still should have been handled months ago. Not us going
literally,
into the new season and there still wasn't any type of fucking resolution that
Low.
came to it.
I mean, I guess that's a
Wait,
good
didn't
point.
didn't the investigation just wrap up 2 days ago? Isn't that what Brad Stevens said in his press conference?
Yes, it just wrapped up. But why did it take from July to now for it to just so wrap up?
That's true.
I mean, the
So,
investigation.
I mean,
probably
that's a
took
couple
time,
months.
but I mean,
Nigga, stop, bro. Come
so
on.
who told
Oh,
her?
you want the real answer to that question though?
What's
Who
that?
told her?
Why did it take so long? Because he's a damn good basketball coach. They were conflicted. That's what it is. If he was a trash coach, he would have been
Yeah,
out
that's
in a
definitely
week.
part of it.
But it was a third party investigation, correct?
From my understanding, the original point, the first time it wasn't when they first had a conversation with them. That's why they're saying it was consensual, and then things proceeded, and then it escalated to maybe we need to get a third party in here to us get to the point in which it was then revealed that it was non-consensual.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just read what's on the Jumbotron. It literally just said they were led to believe by both parties that it was consensual. So what
But it's-
changed
Like
since
yeah, like
July
It's
till
because
now
they
where it's
launched
no
another
longer
set of
consensual?
interviews.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard what I just.
No,
in
but it says that
relationships in corporate
the
America,
lady in
there's no
question
consensual
already told them that it
relationships.
was consensual. So it's kind of weird.
but it
It's
said
not
like
consensual no
Something
matter
changed.
what, bro.
Something changed.
He's a head coach. He has a
what's
power
up?
dynamic over everybody.
Okay,
that
first
he's
off,
No,
No,
she got a mind
that's
of
a
her
very
own though. I
flawed
don't like
argument.
all that.
Power dynamics are bullshit. Unless he's threatening her job if she doesn't sleep with him, the power dynamics doesn't make a sense. It doesn't make any sense. He has to have some sort of power over her job, and if he
That's what
doesn't
I
have
just
that
said,
power
bro.
dynamic, he
But
does.
but
But what? Where does she work? Do you know who she is? Do you know what department she works in? You
she was
think
like,
he has
No, I
that
don't,
much
bro.
clout
Do
in
you?
the organization that
I
he
think
can
I
just
think
say,
you know what,
"Hey, fire
but
her"?
I don't think you understand everything I just said and what NFZ just said. The simple fact that Ime holds so much power and leverage in the situation that even in this scenario, that we are still that they were juggling with the idea of what to do with him while still trying to uphold everything. They were spending most of the summer trying to figure out the best way to cover things up without making it seem bigger than what it is. And Ime knowing that if push come to shove, that he could potentially still keep his job while she might not be able to keep her job, is why we're talking about there's a power dynamic.
Facts.
Well, based on the reports, like he's the only person getting punished from like anything.
As of
So like
now,
he
and
has
The
her job.
majority
So
owner.
I don't know.
as of now, and it's the only reason why there are reports is because the story got leaked because they weren't doing anything.
Why isn't she getting punished?
right.
Why do I keep hearing this? Why isn't she getting punished? Lo,
I
like,
don't understand.
can you
I
make
just
that
don't
make
understand
sense to
how
me,
to
bro?
understand.
Look, NFZ, come off me, bro. Can you please make this make sense to me, bro? I keep
I
hearing
don't.
why isn't she getting blamed? What is she supposed to get blamed for? What is she supposed to get blamed for?
I don't understand if y'all the argument of it was consensual first. Yes, it's yeah. I'm gonna let y'all. Let me let y'all in a little secret. If you are working in an environment that is so toxic, and there's a boys club that is around the fucking league, where in one story, one of your friends is telling y'all, yeah, Robert Sarver over here fucking bullshit, he tripping. Over there in the Dallas Mavericks, they fucking tripping. Over here in Atlanta, they tripping. Over there in fucking LA, they tripping. That's just how the fucking league works. So then, when my bullshit franchise comes to me, and they ask, hey, what's going on over here? And I done heard from over there is bullshit, over there is bullshit, over here is bullshit, over here is bullshit. I hear people losing their jobs, uncomfortable at their workplace. What do you think I'm going to sit here and say? You think I'm going to be the one? Because I think y'all think it's just easy for somebody to say, well, she should have said in the beginning that it wasn't consensual. No, nigga, that's not how that shit works. People get coerced.
Yeah, I should go tell on the head coach of a finals team. Yeah, I'm really gonna be.
How do you think that conversation is going to happen? Huh? What do you think is going to happen? What do you niggas think is going to happen? What do y'all think?
Niggas just be talking out they fucking ass, bro. What are you talking about now?
What you think they were going? What you think they were going to be like? Oh yeah,
they be talking about society in the world like it's black and white, like there are nuances in how society works, bro.
Hey, when he gets done coaching us through this Buck series, we'll fire him next day. Is that what y'all think was going to happen? We up 2-1 against the Warriors. Hey, we'll fire that nigga tomorrow. Is that what y'all think was going to happen? Y'all thought that was going to happen? Who was the coach for the Suns when he first said the shit about Ime? I mean not Ime, but Robert Sarver.
Who? What you mean?
He used to be a head coach for the Suns, and he used to be a player too.
Are you talking about
Earl Watson?
Earl Watson, yeah.
Earl Watson, yeah.
Earl Watson didn't even feel brave enough to say shit about Robert Sarver until he lost his job. There were players coming out when the news about Robert Sarver broke and said, yeah, that sounds about right. You think the niggas were going to say something about Robert Sarver while he was cutting their check? Say something about me, nigga, I'll trade you. You think y'all think things happen in black and white where, oh, I'm going to come up and I'm going to say something and this is really going to get Ime out of here? No, nigga. So when it was brought to their attention and you have these people who have lesser, who are not on the same power, that's what we talk about, power dynamic. A player and a head coach can go back and forth for one another, even though the coach doesn't have direct responsibility of that player's job. The coach can't fire the nigga, but the player and the coach can have similar powers of responsibility. But nigga, if I'm handing out the goddamn tickets and Ime is tripping on me, who the fuck am I? Who am I? The fuck I'm gonna look like? Go to a general manager and say, "Hey, fire him." Oh yeah, well we'll figure out when. Yeah, Nick, he got 2-1 in the finals right now. So yeah, we'll.
Najee, what you gotta say?
The fuck are y'all talking about?
Najee, come off mute or whatever. I don't know. Because Najee said, Najee, you gonna come off mute,
check
nigga?
DM.
I unmuted. You said you want to speak, and then you're not coming off mute.
It might be glitch for him, nigga. Chill.
Yeah, that's on time, man.
No, I hate it when niggas press me like this, bro. This shit is unacceptable.
No.
Fix your fucking Wi-Fi.
Oh shit. Yo, Ash from Tommy, yo.
Hey, I'll just go, bro.
And the rest of y'all can speak until this nigga.
I ain't gonna lie. I think the Celtics, like I said beforehand, like previous today, they made an error on their part. Ime clearly is in the wrong by so many levels, but this entire situation is just deeper than many people understand. Like when they keep saying about power dynamic, you can't like you brought it up, Lo. Like that coercion could be a situation where like that's what's going on. And we don't know what's happening. We don't know the full news or whatever. But there's a situation where that could have been used, where because of his standing in the team, that woman doesn't feel comfortable. But my only issue is like all right, Ime deserves everything.
Nah, wait. Lo,
Nigga,
if that shit is true, bro, this nigga is finished.
No,
he
Ash,
needs to be out the
Ash,
NBA, bro.
wait, Ash and NMZ. I heard about the first one.
I heard about the second one too. I heard about the second one. Y'all check. Look up top in the jumbotron, man. If that
wait,
true,
before you put that in there,
I didn't put it in there, nigga. That was trade.
Okay. All right. So for people who don't know, yes.
If that shit is true,
apparently a lot of this shit has been leaking slowly but surely. So I guess I can look at a jumbotron. I heard about the first one. I heard about the second one. I heard about it being multiple women.
I heard about the fourth one too. The fourth one was kind of lingering around.
I heard about the organization telling him to stop, but none of it being taken serious, even when it was asking him to stop. And yes, I heard about the pending lawsuit. Now, the fucking him impregnating somebody, I have not heard that. That's crazy. And I heard, and I basically just alluded to this about the VP of Finance wanted this public. Yes, okay. So since
bro, but this is what we're saying, bro. But why is it the woman getting fired? But why is the woman being fired?
So since more and more information is getting out, so let me go ahead and just tell more and more information as well, nigga. The whole shit that y'all talking about, from my understanding, they went through the power structure. They went through the lines of communication that they were supposed to get to, and all Ime was getting was a fucking slap on the wrist. Hey, stop that. Stop doing that. And they knew about it for months. They were asking for something more dire, more demanding, more concrete for it to happen. And instead of coming to some formal conclusions, it felt like their feet was being dragged. They were dragging their feet with the conclusion. Because they were dragging their feet with the conclusion, they wanted it to go public because apparently...
You're talking about your sources, right?
My sources.
Legend of Winning.
Apparently, they were trying to handle it privately, and it wasn't being handled privately to their liking, which normally happens in these type of situations because it's a fucking boys club across the league. It was not being handled accordingly. So you're not going to handle it? I guess Woj going to know about it. Sham's going to know about it. And we'll talk about it on ESPN for the next 2 to 3 days. Since y'all niggas are dragging y'all feet. Because they've known about it since July. And yes, when you're in an organization that's willing to drag their feet with this type of situation, and I don't know what the Celtics, I don't know what dragging their feet was. I don't know if it was them fully investigating. I don't know. But from my understanding, it really wasn't that much to fucking investigate. It's pretty 2-2. But when you're with an organization and what's really a league that has a history of this, of them dragging their feet and hoping everything's get pushed to the side and everything is, we'll cover it up as much as we can. It's very easy for me to believe, especially with a coach that has quickly established himself. It's very easy for me to believe that somebody might have sat there and weighed all their options and said, hey, man, you know what? I went to school for this. I done dedicated 5-7 years of my life to this. This is the path in which I want to go. This is who I have been. I've invested in this. You know what? I'll just say it was consensual now, and then a year or two from now, I will, I'll just find another job and I'll just try to go to another league.
And if all you're saying is true,
another team,
right? If everything you're saying is true, right, and everything we saw on the jumbotron, right? Like it's just another example of how women can potentially be abused, or like not just physically but mentally, because they won't be able to come out and voice their concerns, their problems with any organization, right? And so then it just creates a toxic environment where women who love basketball, women who genuinely love the sport, right? Like we got plenty of women fans, right? It's not just a man dominated league in terms of fandom, right? Women love this sport. When women want to go work for the NBA, when their dream is to go be around these players, right? They get discouraged when they see shit like this being tolerated around the entire league. This is what is it, the third fucking team that we know of, that just we know of in the last decade that is doing some shady shit like this. You know what I mean? It's unacceptable, bro. This is crazy. This is very crazy.
I'm sorry, Steve, we cut you off, so go ahead and finish what you was about to say, Steve. Yeah.
Niggas dropped a nuke. I ain't gonna cap. I'm kind of not gonna lie. I said coercion, but I was looking at it earlier today. I was like, but there's no with what's going on. There's a chance he probably got someone pregnant or got someone an STD or something. But yeah, yeah, pack this nigga up. I ain't got no comments. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Again, I want to be clear. All the stuff that's on that post there, I don't know how much. Some of those things I've heard, but getting somebody pregnant, I did not.
Yeah,
that would be crazy.
See now, y'all like my only thing is the fact like y'all brought it up. The Celtics knowing about this back into that's my only like that one thing. I'm just like it rubs me the wrong way. Like this should have this should have been attacked a lot sooner, and them not doing that, it's affected so many other people as well. Like that's
if all this stuff all this stuff is true, right? Like because we can't speak in absolutes, right? If all of this shit is true, this is the most insane shit like I've ever seen a coach do, bro. Like multiple women pregnant, impregnated someone, VP of finance, wife. Like this nigga's a slut. He did all this for some coochie, bro. Like this is insane. Like this nigga's a whore. Like I can't believe that this transpired. If all these allegations are true, bro. Because like I said, if this transpired,
if the Celtics knew about this shit and didn't do anything,
if the Celtics and then followed up and was dragging their feet about all this shit and then resulted with a quick just 1 year suspension, that's crazy.
My thing is, bro,
my understanding, right? Like
not
my understanding. If from my understanding, the investigations are happening like for like the last couple months, right? From my understanding, it just concluded Wednesday, right? So it just concluded 2 days ago. From my understanding, right? If if they were like investigating the shit as it was going on, and they found out more and more information, I think that's why like this is an indefinite suspension, because like y'all gotta pay attention to what they said. Like they're gonna suspend it for this season, and they don't know what's gonna happen in the future. I feel like if they find out or if they know and like more information comes out, he's gonna get fired. Like me and Ash were talking about it. Like if they were even thinking about suspending him for a year, like while he was talking BBU. If they like all of us talking to BBU, if they thinking about suspending him for a year, bro, he's very well on the verge of being fired.
Now I've essentially heard that they didn't want to fire him because they didn't want to pay him the money. So they're just hoping that he resigns. That's what.
Go. You can go ahead and go. I don't know how to pronounce this nigga name. Your name starts with an O. I don't know.
Yeah, hearing me?
Yeah, you can go ahead and go, and then we'll start with Chef after that. Go ahead, go again.
All right. So, like, when I first saw the year-long suspension thing, I was like, all right, if whatever it is that bad for you to suspend him for a year, you kind of got to go. Because it doesn't make any sense to suspend him for a year and then bring him back. Like, it's stupid. And, like secondly, something changed a bit, because based on what I read, like, she gained confidence at some point enough. She gained enough confidence at some point to come out and say this. So more than likely, somebody else with some more power than Ime caught wind of the situation and was like, hey, go ahead and say it. I got your back. Like, I feel like somebody else had to help her along so that she felt comfortable enough to say something. Because I don't know. Maybe I'm just but I feel like somebody else with some more power or some connection really was